African Voices and Black Futures, celebration of empowerment and resilience in St. Jamestown. Welcome to St. Jamestown TV. I'm Kedar, and today we're bringing you a full coverage of the Black Futures Month celebration, an inspiring gathering that showcased Black brilliance, community resilience, and the fight against anti-Black racism in St. Jamestown. On February 28, 2025, the Wellesley Community Centre became a vibrant space of celebration, reflection, and empowerment as residents, community leaders, and service providers came together to honor the strength and resilience of Black communities. Organized by the St. Jamestown's Community Corner, the Center for Advancing the Interests of Black People, Dixon Hall, and other key partners. The event highlighted the creativity, achievements, and contributions of Black communities while fostering conversations about healing and empowerment. A key part of this was the community fair, which featured organizations dedicated to supporting Black communities throughout economic empowerment, mental health resources, and employment opportunities. The event kicked off with a warm welcome from MCs Amanda and Kendra, setting the stage for a powerful and engaging program. The energy in the room was electric, especially with the dynamic African drum performances by Izimba Arts, a collective of African performers who brought an incredible rhythm and spirit to the gathering. The event also featured a powerful spoken word performance by Kaynn. City Councillor for Ward 13, Chris Moise, delivered opening remarks, acknowledging the importance of celebrating Black futures and the ongoing work needed to support Black communities in St. Jamestown and beyond. A special highlight was the screening of Stories of Strength, Black Residents Uplift St. Jamestown, a short documentary by rptv's journalist Fred Alvarado, featuring powerful stories of 3 residents of St. Jamestown. Another key feature of the event was the panel discussion, Voices of Change, Healing, Storytelling, and Empowerment for Black Communities. The discussion brought together powerful voices, including Focus Media Arts Center's own Executive Director Adonis Huggins, whose lifelong commitment to community media and grassroots storytelling has helped uplift countless voices in Toronto. Joining him were Dr. Joan Samuels Dennis and Fevin Suedu from Coming to Fruition, who offered deep insights into healing from systemic oppression and using storytelling as a tool for empowerment.
Get up, stand up.
As the event came to a close, attendees enjoyed a final community performance, followed by closing remarks and exciting raffle draw, bringing an uplifting end to an inspiring day. Events like this are vital to communities like St. Jamestown and Regent Park, where diversity is a strength, but systemic barriers persist. Black History Month continues to be a driving force for real change and opportunity within our city and beyond. Now let's take you inside the event with our full video coverage of Black Futures Month 2025.
I'd like to welcome everyone again. Say we're so excited to have you here as we gather under the theme, Rooted in Strength, celebrating Black brilliance and unpacking anti-Black racism.
We are proud to be hosting a Black-centered community fair. We will now invite the fair participants to come to the front and give a brief 1-minute introduction about their table.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaynn, and I'm a community support worker within the Rooming House Project for Dixon Hall. I am so honored and excited to be here this evening to celebrate Black history, the Black legacy, and its impact in not only Toronto, but in Cabbagetown. At Dixon Hall, we are advocates for the marginalized. We are advocates for food security. We are advocates for housing affordability. We are an organization that is ultimately interested in ensuring that we live in a city where everyone thrives. And thriving there, I mean in its truest sense, where we come up with lasting solutions to reduce poverty, lasting solutions that impact housing affordability, lasting solutions that see a decrease in the marginalization of already marginalized people. At Dixon Hall, we provide a plethora of programs in support of what we do in the Cabbagetown community, and they include housing and homelessness supports, senior programs, employment and training services, youth programs, community food programs, and arts and cultures initiative. This evening, in support of today's event, we encourage all of you guys to drop by our booth and add a leaf to our community tree. That leaf should reflect what you guys want to see, what you envision the future of Cabbagetown to be like. Thank you so much for participating.
Hello, my name is Stephen, and I am the co-founder of a nonprofit organization called Coming to Fruition with my co-founder D'Angela, who is not here today. So we are a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to empowering women in our community. So the name Coming to Fruition symbolizes when a seed is planted and it begins to actually grow and blossom. And so what we do is we target mental health and mental wellness in our community. And what we do is we host workshops that are targeted to help women in our community grow as individuals. And so that includes many different topics like conflict resolution, stress management, confidence, and actually providing a space where women can actually come together and get to know one another. And so they're growing individually, but not just individually, they're growing collectively as a community as well. And that's one of the really important things because we really aim to bridge the gap that there is for women specifically and resources that are tailored for us. And so that is what we're doing. We're located in the downtown east. So we are working in St. Jamestown, the neighborhood where both of us have grown up. And we are beginning to expand throughout Regent Park and Moss Park, aiming to create a world where women are empowered, have access to resources, and know what is available to them. Thank you very much.
I'm really excited to be here today, this evening. My name is Saurabh Chaudhary. I am the Community Development Coordinator working in the Neighborhood Group Community Services. Neighborhood Group Community Services actually works at every stage of people's life, and we are dedicated to address all the critical issues that people are facing. We are actually working in 30 locations in GTA, and here is our booth. I welcome everyone to come and see what actually we are doing. Thank you so much and enjoy this evening today.
I own a little shop on Parliament in Wellesley. It's when I first opened the shop, it was mostly to promote women of color, mostly black women, because I do a lot of pop-up shops, and at one point I realized that there was a lot of people from different backgrounds, but I didn't see enough Afro girls at the pop-ups. So I decided to open the shop, and so this was the right fit because I feel like this neighborhood is very colorful. So I'm enjoying being in, it was a full circle moment. I didn't look for Cabbagetown or St. Jamestown, I just found it. And it fit right into what I was trying to do, so I'm happy to be here.
I am Jennifer Chuchi, and I volunteer at the corner at St. Jamestown with the craft on Monday night. I would like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to come in and share what I'm doing. I'm getting ready for competition. I've got an organ transplant. It's a kidney transplant. It's 16 years. So I would like to fundraise to join Team Canada in Germany at the World Transplant Games. So if I want to compete, I have to self-fundraise. And you can follow me on social media, hashtag Jen 3 kidneys. I've got 3 kidneys. And my little goose over there is Jen's gift. So these are the sports I will be competing in. Bowling, pétanque, track and field. And please come and support me at my booth over there. Thank you.
Hi everyone. We are Hospice Toronto. We are a non-profit organization working since 1980, working in this community with a beautiful program that is the Creating Caring Community, CCC, probably that you know. We have beautiful clients and beautiful volunteers helping people here in the community. I am happy to be part of this beautiful event. I have my 2 workers celebrating this and participating actively in the monthly Black Monthly. I will say thank you so much, and I will put Minara to say something.
Good evening. Very thank you to my colleague and the organizer, the SPN, for organizing this great event. I'm the program lead of CCC Creating Caring Communities and serving in this community since 2014. Our program in this community from 2011. We are helping isolated seniors, newcomers, and who are in need. So you can visit our both. This is like behind this hall. So you can have our phone number and you can contact us whenever you need. Thank you so much.
This is not too loud. And we do actually 2 businesses in the community. We also sell African Caribbean pepper sauce. We focus on flavor as opposed to heat, so it's more flavorful than hot. So please come and visit us. We have free samples at the back. We also do hand knitting, so we're wearing our hand knitting items here. So we'd like you guys to come and check us out.
It's good to be here celebrating Black History Month. My name is Patricia Gray, and I live in St. Jamestown. I have a business that I run, okay, and I also is with the food bank with Freedom City. And what we do, we help people that are in need. And along the strip of food basics, I was on the committee that asked the MPs if we can sell out there. So that's why people, if they don't have money to buy anything in the store that they want, they can come out there and sell and take the money and buy what they want. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Maisha. I use they them pronouns and I'm a LGBTQ program coordinator at Sherburne Health.
Hi everyone, my name is Morgan and I'm a program worker, a community program worker at Sherburne Health.
So Sherburne Health Center is a clinic located at Sherburne and Carlton. And while we do service everyone, we focus in on 4 particular areas. Folks who are newcomers and refugees, folks who are unhoused, the 2S LGBTQ population.
We also have candy, and if you like chocolate, come by, have a conversation with us. At Sherburne we do tons of things. We cook, we build community, we support folks with employment, housing, newcomers that are needing a letter for their hearing, all types of things. So come chat with us, connect, and hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hi everyone, my name is Trisha. I'm with EGC Toronto Kiwanis, also known as Toronto Kiwanis Boys and Girls Clubs. Our history and our commitment to the community dates back over 100 years now, and we're really proud to provide safe, inclusive spaces for kids and young people across 6 locations, including Rose Avenue Junior Public School, and most recently we reopened the Cabbagetown Youth Centre. And so we are mainly operate when folks are out of school, so after school, during break, during summer, we have summer day camps, and our programs are designed to promote lifelong learning, confidence, overall wellness and activity, and let's see, what else am I forgetting? All the great things. a fun fact is that we're currently 50% of our management and full-time team is Black, so we are a Black-led charity, and we offer scholarships and subsidies and try to keep our programs as affordable as possible while providing recreation and nutrition supports among tons of other great things, because we believe opportunity changes everything and really want to create opportunities for youth to thrive. And thanks very much.
I'm Nan Surya, a program manager from Children's Hall, and also I'm working out of the Corner 200 and overseas program at the Corner. So I have a team here that actually works at the Corner, going to talk about the services that we offer from the Corner. The Corner is a community hub which content of many services. Many service providers come to the Corner to provide different services. So we have the very first people that people meet here from the Corner to talk about the services, and also we do have a community engagement facilitator who will meet you guys in the community. So I'll let them to introduce themselves and talk about their services at the Corner.
Hello everyone, it's Ella from the Corner 240. That's my location, usually I am. So we do have many services. Share and reuse is one of these projects to reduce waste. So one of the things, if you have any repair, you can come to us. We also have something called Library of Things. So it's not just only tools. Even if you're looking for dolly or big equipment, you will find it there. Another thing that we have, a huge thing that we have many products like Green Cafe, affordable food, and then we also have something called Corner Restore, and that's vintage clothing. So there's also many programs, capacity building programs. One of them is gardening program that's going to be happening very soon, and we also have many other like craft social, and some of them are here actually, or coming regularly, and they are also community leaders. I just really would say that about them. We're amazing work. So many things. Please visit us at 240, and also with clients coming to us 240, we are connected pathway to the main 200 location for connecting the many service, health access, counseling, settlement. I'm just going to give this to Dilly to continue.
Thank you so much, Ella, and it's such a nice and so honored to speak in front of you. Actually, I can see a lot of familiar clients who are always coming to me. So I feel like we are family with the Corner 200 and Corner 240. So here, maybe feel like a home, that you can do everything and each and everything with us. So for kids, for seniors, if you need any kind of employment support, especially for youth even, so we do have it. Resettlement plans, and maybe do you think if you don't have a family doctor, why don't you come to the Corner 200? You can come to the Corner for the nurse practitioner, family doctors, for everything, kids programs, seniors programs, because we can see the collaborative, the team, we are a team, and we are acting for one purpose, to enhance the qualities and the lifestyles of St. Jamestown. That's the main name. Thank you. And then I'm going to pass to Mudazir.
Thank you so much, Sylvie. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good time and enjoying themselves. I recently joined St. Jamestown Community Corner as a community engagement facilitator. And as Allah and Dini mentioned about many programs that we are offering for our clients within the community. I also would like to mention that we have language classes, we also have dance classes for seniors, guitar classes for kids, and many more programs, resettlement, integrative health services, mental health counseling, resettlement, and also ambassador programs that we are going to start very soon, and we are also looking for ambassadors and volunteers. So yes, please come to the booth, the second booth that you see, and there are so many other stuff that we can talk about. And thank you so much. Thank you for having us. And I also want to thank the organizing committee and also the other service providers for coming here and having this event. Thank you so much.
I have an organization that I'm starting myself. I'm not a non-for-profit. I'm a for-profit person. But what I do is networking events. So you might ask, what is a networking event? And a networking event is similar to this, is trying to bring people together. And so originally I'm from Ethiopia, and I'm also trying to showcase the culture of Ethiopia and the different beautiful things that exist in that country, in that part of the world. So it's called East Africa Showcase, and what I like today is I have a YouTube channel. I have something that I just laminated before coming here, and you guys can follow me there. I make content there. I also have TikTok under the same name, so EAS Toronto, Tesla Logos. Actually, we do the networking events in the same room, and we're trying to do Monday evenings. So you'll hear more about my future networking events. And as for like what we talk about different topics, so topics that matter. So far we talked about personal finance. So far we talked about, the next one is going to be about mental health. And I'm all about economic development as well. So yeah, I really think Canada, it has so much potential if we talk to each other and if we communicate more in person and online. So thanks a lot. My name is Tezero once again. My organization is ES Toronto. I have a QR code. Thanks for the opportunity.
Now we are signing up for an electrifying performance by Izimba Arts.
Come on, guys. Come on, everybody. I need volunteers, guys. Any volunteers? Any volunteers, guys? Anyone? Come, guys. Come, yes. Come on. Yes. Come on. Yes. Let's try. Thanks.
electrifying performance. Can we give another round of applause? That was amazing. So, we do now have a special guest. We have Ward 13 Councillor Chris Moise to share a brief statement about the importance of Black History Future Month in SJT. Chris Moise was elected City Councillor for Ward 13 on October 24, 2022. Councillor Moise continues to dedicate over 20 years working and living in communities within Ward 13, committed to improving safety, fairness, inclusion, housing affordability, and social services. Please help me welcome Councillor Moise.
Good evening, everybody. Oh my goodness. So many wonderful people here and familiar faces. As mentioned, my name is Chris Moise. I'm the local city councillor. Very proud to be a member of this community. As I was mentioned, I live just a few minutes away. And so happy African Heritage Month. And I say African Heritage with intention, because a lot of people say Happy Black History Month. But I learned recently that during slavery, Black people from the continent of Africa actually used their tribal names to identify themselves. And it was through colonialism that we used color to divide people. Black, yellow, brown, and so forth. You're coming here already 4 minutes. So, one of the things I've learned, growing up in school, I actually was not taught Black history. I was taught, when I was in high school, I took a world history course, but it ended up being a European history course. When I was in university, I took a European history course. I learned about Descartes and Louis XIV, all these European history, but nothing on Black history. It was only in my mid-20s I actually went out and sought to learn about my own Black history, and I've learned so much. And I'm still learning today. It has been a journey. And this is why, as a former school board trustee, I've done my best to make sure we provide spaces in the education system so that Black kids, not only Black kids, but people in general understand Black history. And of course, Black history didn't start during times of slavery or enslavement, because people are not born slaves, they were enslaved. Our history started thousands of years prior, and it was a rich history. And this is why, for me as a local councillor, I was very enthused to rename Young Dundas Square Sankofa Square. And for those of us who know what Sankofa means, it means actually, San means going back pre-slavery. Right? Reclaim your history and moving forward in a good way together. All of us is an inclusive term. And again, Canadian history, well, Black history includes Canadian history. We help build this country. And it's important that we make spaces for ourselves, safe spaces, create safe spaces for all of us. So again, I encourage you to learn, understand, be empathetic. I also chair the Toronto Board of Health, the largest municipal health agency in the country. And even in my role, I've learned that many Black people don't go to the doctor, don't engage spaces because they don't feel safe in those spaces, or they are ignored. And for me as a Black man, in this role, I make sure I speak to our healthcare providers or healthcare leaders to make sure that they provide safe spaces for us as well. Yesterday, for example, yesterday, I was a keynote speaker at George Brown College for the Mental Health 25th Anniversary Conference. And there I talk about intergenerational trauma when it comes to Black people. Right? I was in Copenhagen about 2 months ago, and we talked about healthcare there around healthy cities. And Copenhagen, as you may not know, is a homogenous society. Everyone looks the same, they experience the same things. So they can actually find solutions for their problems. But when it comes to Toronto, where we're the most diverse city in the world, that doesn't work for us. So we actually have to go in with intention and identify the gaps in the system where we can actually help people. And we did that successfully during COVID, right? Black people, for example, during COVID did not actually go into the community centers or the health facilities to actually get their vaccinations. So we actually went in and went to communities. We chose community, yeah, no, I'm wrapping up soon. We chose community leaders that actually they trusted to help them and to get them to come out and to get vaccinated. So again, I think using those strategies, right, helps in bringing people together, and that we can grow and build and be an inclusive, a safe community where people can thrive. Let's do the opposite of what they're doing in the U.S. right now. Equity, diversity, inclusion is important. Never say DEI. Equity, diversity, inclusion. Thank you so much.
I would like to introduce our next performance. Kaynn is a passionate poet who has been crafting words for over 15 years. Through her poetry, she captures emotions and experiences that resonate deeply within her audience. A storyteller at heart, she believes in the power of words to connect, inspire, and provoke thought. Tonight, she shares her voice with us. Welcome, Kaynn.
Hello, good night, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so honored to see all of you out supporting Black History Month, because it's so important that we celebrate each other as a community. And while I am nervous, I'm going to try to be as concise as I can be. Okay, so to start off, I will be going through some facts about Black History Month. Did you know that in 1978, Ontario Black History Society, OBHS, was established by founders including Dr. Daniel G. Hill and Wilson O. Brooks, who presented a petition to the City of Toronto to have February formally proclaimed as Black History Month. In 1979, the first ever Canadian proclamation was established by Toronto. It was in 1988 that the first Black history was noticed in Nova Scotia, and later renamed African Heritage Month in 1996. Okay, I will go through a poem that I have written. It is a letter poem, so just stay tuned and listen keenly. Okay, so the first letter is B for Black. Born to write our place in history. L, leaving our mark on society. A, acknowledging our heroes of the past and leaders of tomorrow. C, celebrating visionaries of a new era. K, kindred spirits working for the greater good.
You're doing great.
History, the first letter H, heroes who worked for the enrichment of today's society. I, ideal, incredible, immaculate, was their vision of a brighter tomorrow. S, selfless in their choice of building a better future for the next generation. T, thank you for teaching us to let our light burn bright. O, our heroes, idols, and mentors. R, remarkable was their belief in equality. Y, yesterday's past can impact upon today's future. The final letter, word is month, and it goes, we may never lose sight of what stands behind the brilliant horizon. O, opportunities come at the most opportune moments, so let us move forward and overcome. N, never lose your ability to strive for goal. T, the future is ours for the taking. H, Heroism comes in many shapes and sizes, so take a walk down the yellow brick road. I have something that I've written, and hopefully you can relate. Okay, we, us, may never be as fundamental to society as our Canadian heroes who paved the way for the rights and freedoms that we enjoy today. I am proud of the waymakers who have dedicated their lives to making this country an ecosystem of infinite diversity and equality. Thank you to our ancestors who have the rights and who didn't have the rights and freedoms that we enjoy today, but fought for a world where a black man could be appointed to Senate. Senator Daniel Oliver was elected in February 2008, and the first ever black woman elected to Parliament, Honorable Jane Austen, was elected to the House of Commons. All right, thank you so much, and sorry for my stumbling, but I appreciate your...
So we are thrilled to announce that we will be showing a special newly completed documentary that beautifully highlights the powerful stories and contributions of the Black community in St. James Town. So we can't wait to share this inspiring film with you. So enjoy.
St. Jamestown, a community built on resilience, strength, and unity. The Black residents of this neighborhood have not only shaped its history, but continue to uplift and inspire future generations. Patricia Gray has called St. Jamestown home. She's seen its struggles, its triumphs, and most importantly, the way people come together in times of need.
At St. Jamestown, when they have a crisis, they have people that will jump into action to make sure that the people that are having the problem, that we're there and showing them that, we care.
When a fire displaced dozens of residents, Patricia didn't hesitate. She rallied the community, ensuring that no one was left without food or a helping hand.
For Saturday when they had the fire, okay, I came home and I called a friend of mine, Lee, and I said, listen, they had an emergency evacuation and we have to do something for the people that's outside. So we just jumped into action. Brianna joined us, and the guy at the corner, he gave us some drink and some chips, and Brianna gave us some food and things like that. So we went into the bus. I count, for the 3 buses that are there, I count how many people were there, and then I went in and tell them that we're going to give them something. We gave them tea too. So we gave them something to eat, so to cool the stress that they were going through, because you just got out, they just asked you to come out of your building. It was a fire, but nobody is saying what's happening, because the people that are in charge of the fire, what's going on in the fire, they're busy, their hands are busy, okay? So I think the people that were in the bus, they were very happy that we came and we did a little bit to least the discomfort that they were having.
Louis Gabon arrived from Kinshasa, Congo in 2018. Since then, he's been giving back, volunteering as a French teacher at Community Corner at 200 Wellesley, helping newcomers navigate life in Canada. But while he helps others adjust to their new home, Louis is still fighting his own.
My experience as a refugee, yeah, and then I did my refugee claimant, but it was denied. It was rejected. Yeah, but they keep me. They keep me because I was not involved to the criminal activities. Yeah, and I used to pay my tax and everything. Yeah, that's why I'm still remaining living in Canada. After appealing, it was denied again. So now I'm in the process to do humanitarian demand. Yeah, so I'm in the process to get it.
He dreamed of creating a soccer league for kids in neighborhood, a way to promote social inclusion and bring young people together.
I had a plan to do a soccer league for kids, for which the kids they're gonna pay nothing. They're gonna pay nothing big to focus more in sports activity for kids, mainly during the weekend time.
But to make it a reality, he needs financial support to help it grow and thrive.
The thing that stopped me is to pay, to afford the insurance. Yeah, the insurance is really killing. But the plus is here, and then I've been in contact with the school, Rose Avenue Public School. Yeah, so they appreciate the program. Yeah, so now the finance, the financial aid, yeah, really killed me. It make me to slow down a little bit in this process. But when I got help, yes, for financial aid, yeah, so I gotta make all this project possible.
Mohamed Dudu has lived in St. Jamestown for over 30 years. A former UNHCR worker, he knows what it means to fight for those without a voice. Today he works closely with neighborhood police and local leaders to address community concerns from safety to housing.
I'm working together with the police and the councillors and the representative of this community, federal and province. All that when I see something wrong, I have to report to them that this is not so good in this community. I love my community. Yeah. Even this community, this is the baby of the corner community. Corner community was open, it was a food bank. And then when we see, when they see like that one, there is a lot of complaints like that one. Now, corner community is now taking care of things in the government section like healthcare, housing, to find people housing and solve other problems in this area. Not in this area only, even up to regional park. All this is one community. Yeah, this is how I'm doing things like that one. Even the time when that place was open, I do a lot of meetings in that place. If you go there, you find my meetings, our community meetings, our home meetings. People from home, I bring them together. We sit. What are we going to do? How are we going to stay here? Are we going to help our people here and there? This is how I am.
His advocacy is not just about policy. It's about ensuring that newcomers and longtime residents alike feel heard, supported, and protected. For all three, the Community Corner isn't just a building, it's a lifeline. A place where people come for resources, connections, and hope. A place where neighbors become family.
When I became a resident, they didn't have something like what they have here now, the corner, or some place that you could go and talk as a new resident or whatever. It was just an apartment, and you see your next door neighbor, and that was it. But I think as time went by, they started developing like an outreach, not only for the residents, but for people that that were coming to St. Jamestown and want to live here for the first time. So I think that was very good.
Through their dedication, the Black community of St. Jamestown continues to inspire, proving that when we stand together, we build a future where everyone belongs.
Tell them is, let's come together. Let's build it our community. Let's grow our community. Let's help our senior. Let's help our children. That's the way how we are going to be to make a St. James community to grow up.
Informative documentary. Thank you so much once again. Next, we have a panel discussion on Voices of Change. Please help me welcome Alan Mohammed, who will be our moderator today. Alan Mohammed has worked as a client engagement worker with the corner at 240 Wellesley Street, the city's first reduced and reused hub for the past 5 years. She is also part of the health access team that provides primary health care services in the SJT. She has been coordinating the SJT Black History and Futures event since 2000. We are proud to invite Alan Mohammed up as the moderator for tonight's panel discussion.
The panel discussion today, we're going to be diving into a powerful discussion on the voice of change. We will explore storytelling, how that can transform, empower our Black community, fostering collective creativity and empowerment. Let's go share those moments together in discussion, and I will be introducing each of our panelists. We will introduce Dr. Juan Samuel Dees. Dr. Juan is a PhD. She is a PhD and award-winning speaker and pioneer of truth and forgiveness and reconciliation process. Dr. Juan has transformed countless lives with her groundbreaking and forgiveness methods. Amazing. As the founder of Becoming an Institution, she is a empowered individual, community, and she's also working on a huge project that's called National Healing, inviting leaders, and this work is all about community healing from historical and personal trauma with career spanning psychotherapy and academia and social change. She's here today to inspire real lasting change. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm also very extremely excited whenever I see youth are doing an amazing empowerment work. Even very proud to say she's the youth who's a lead of a grassroots organization and has did a huge work recently. A co-founder of Coming Portion and a non-profit organization that empower women in low-income communities by fostering connection, personal growth, and well-being. Coming Portion offer impactful workshops on topics like confidence, stress management, healthy coping mechanism, alongside inspiring events such as the pop-up market was huge and had such a huge success. I think most of the people know about it. And practical facts. I always say media transforms us, and the storytelling is such a powerful way to change the narrative. That's why we are here to celebrate and also just to introduce an amazing leader, Adonis Begum. Adonis served an artistic director for Regent Park, Focus Hub, as well as executive director for Focus Media Art Center. Adonis, as a member of Nova Scotia Black Cultural Center, a theater founded to highlight Canada's racist past and present contemporary issues faced by Black communities in the Eastern Canada, excelling in production and post-production at Trinity Square Video. Adonis committed to sharing his expertise with Regent Park youth through community videos production programs which lit 24 hours closed circuit television station and Regent Park TV. We are very excited to host and to be with us today, Adonis, and just to say that we collaborate millions of times with the team, and their amazing outcome, and you can see it on the amazing stories on the Regent Park TV. Okay. So the first question here, Adonis, please share about the challenging work is confronting right now, and how work supports community empowerment.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me here, and thank the community for inviting me. It's my pleasure to support and celebrate African Heritage Month. I guess I want so, and it's great that we had the opportunity to show one of our videos done by Fred, who's a staff member. Fred, you should stand up. So just to tell you a little bit about our work and our challenges, we were established in 1990 as a not-for-profit organization. But funny enough, we didn't start as a media organization. We started as a resident coalition. And much like a room like today, we asked residents, you know, what should we work on? The government gave us money to address resident concerns. And we asked residents in Regent Park, what would you like our community work on? And they identified two things. One was youth programming and youth interventions. And the other one was, which was kind of surprising for all of us, was to address the media stigmatization of the Regent Park community. And that was a big thing for many of our community members because they felt that media, mainstream media, stigmatized the Regent Park community on the basis of class, because Regent Park was a social housing community. Again, we're talking in the 1990s, things are changing now. But the other thing is they felt that this was discrimination against racialized communities. That many of the newspaper reports was about violence and drugs and so on. And we wanted to address that. And one of the ways we started to address it is we would begin by letter writing campaigns with our community. So every time an article came up that was really dissing the community, we wrote letter writing campaigns, and then we started to visit the publishers. But we found that wasn't working. Articles would keep on coming. So we joined other communities, and Jane and Finch and Parkdale at the time, and we tried to do cross-communities programming so that, you know, not only one community would write letters, but several communities would write letters. Again, not working. And that's when we decided that, you know what, we'll start our own media. And really, by starting our own media, we gave the opportunity to work with residents, to, you know, train them in media, to let them use the cameras and tell their own stories about their community. So on one hand, I really remember this one, and I'll start soon, but I really remember this one documentary video that kids did. They highlighted, basically they took the soundtrack and videos from all these reports and crime reports about Regent Park, and then they went around and they showed, you know, essentially all the media reports were saying how unsafe Regent Park was. And then we would show communities getting together, kids having ice cream, people picnicking in the park, all this community thing that was happening. And you know, they didn't feel unsafe. And when we asked people how unsafe they felt, they felt that Regent Park was a really a great family community. So that's the essence of how we started. And now we, again, one of the things we have is Focus Media Arts Center. Essentially, we have a Regent Park TV, a radio, 24-hour radio station, which community members like you who are interested in having your own radio show are welcome to apply for a program, a slot on the radio. But again, we also do other things, but really the Regent Park TV is again a way for residents to address, not only to address mainstream media, but to show the community what their community is about, to profile the events, to show community meetings that happen, basically to engage the community. So I'm happy to talk more about that. So I'll leave it for there for now.
Thank you so much, Anna. Definitely. And it's very nice when you see the vision did a great impact through the stories that you mentioned. I'm just going to go turn this question to Even. So please share us the challenges that your work has confronting and how the work will support community empowerment.
Thank you, Al, for asking that question. So for those who didn't hear, the question that Al asked were, what are some challenges that you have discovered while doing your work, and what have you done to empower your community through those challenges? And so to answer that question, I would have to name some of the challenges that I have seen within what we have done. And so the main issue that women face is, according to Mental Health Research Canada, 42% of women who wanted to access mental health support mentioned that financial barriers was the sole reason why they could not access it. And so that's a big problem. And so what Coming to Fruition does is we provide support for women, and it's free of cost. And the approach that we are using, I believe it's the best approach, and it's the approach of meeting people where they're at. So what we do is we don't put the burden on the women to come out and meet us, because that's also another financial cost as well, right? Which is transportation, which can be really costly in today's society. And so what we're doing is we're making sure that the workshops that we host, the resources that we have, the events that we're hosting, we're coming into the community and we're meeting the women where they're at. And that's been really supportive because we're providing accessible support, which is really what we need, especially for mental wellness supports for women. Another issue that not just women, but our city is dealing with is loneliness, right? So according to Toronto Foundation, 37% of Torontonians mention that they are lonely. And so that's a big problem, not just women, but we're all dealing with as a city. And growing up in St. Jamestown, it's a huge community, but we're all isolated in our units and in our apartments. And so growing up, my mother, my brother, all of us, we would see the same faces for over 10 years, but we don't know each other's names, which is a big problem. And so what we're doing is we're bridging that gap because we're providing intentional space for people to get to know each other. What is your name? What is your story? What are things that you like? And so we focus on that individual growth, but community growth is really important as well. And so spaces that are dedicated for us to get to know each other. And then lastly is resources that are targeted for women. I think that is something we lack in our community. Growing up, I had so many things to do as a kid. I was in the summer camps, I had after school program, but what did my mom have? There was nothing for women to connect, to grow. And in St. Jamestown, I don't think I can name one women-led organization that specifically targets women. I don't think there are actually any organizations. And so what we're doing to combat that issue is we're becoming that resource. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eva. And that was very insightful, and thank you for getting all the challenges. It's very important to open up and talk about it and to really address it beautifully. I'm gonna go to ask the question, Dr. Joanne. So, Dr. Joanne, you're doing a national healing project at the moment, and there is also a lot of challenges I'm sure that you're facing at the moment. So how your work will support the community, and you can just tell us a little bit more about it.
Good evening, everyone. It's so good to be with you, and thank you for the invitation. So my background is I am a nurse. I have a PhD in mental health promotion. I have been a psychotherapist in the last 8 years, and I've developed my own psychotherapeutic process, which is quite effective at resolving trauma and traumatic responses. And so I have seen the problem that I think we need to solve. And if I asked you all a question, if I asked you the question, do you believe it's possible to end racism, hatred, and bigotry in 10 years? How many would put their hands up? It is possible. Oh, there's hands. Now, usually when I ask a room that question, they go 10 years. That's impossible, right? But that's the challenge that we're facing. So I run a movement, not so much an organization, and the movement is about going across the country and using healing of intergenerational trauma to end racism, hatred, bigotry, separation, all the things that disconnect us. And so, as I've been doing this work, what's the major challenge? Well, I think the major challenge, especially in the Black community, is we're so separated. We're so disconnected. And I know in some cases we are connected, but for the most part, we've got all of these organizations doing things, but somehow we miss the fact that we need to communicate with one another and collaborate and work with one another in order to make this thing actually happen. So one of the things that I've been doing is I've been going across the country and just connecting with Black organizations and saying, it's time for us to come together. And not just for the purpose of coming together, but the purpose of actually creating a really healthy ecosystem that we can all flourish in. I love what Chris had to say. Chris said, you know, he went abroad and there was this homogenous community. They all experienced the same thing. And then he said, but here we're so diverse that it's impossible for us to get together. Am I paraphrasing?
Paraphrasing.
Yes. Am I way off, Chris?
It's a very complex issue.
It is a complex issue. But here's how we get past the separation. Here's how we get past the disconnection. The reason why I can't connect with you, or you, or you, or anybody else out there is I've got some stuff in my life experience. I've got some stuff in my genes that come from my ancestors that are really traumatic responses that typically cause us to separate from one another. So what I am hoping that we can do eventually is convince one community, just one. Perhaps it will be this community, but we convince this one community, let's go on a healing journey together. Right? It's a thought. And then it's about laying the groundwork to then onboard every single member of the community. How challenging is that, right? And so how do you do this work? Well, it's concerted effort, but everybody has to be involved right up front, and that's a challenging thing to do. So I'll leave it there for now.
Thank you very much. I wanted just to say, such a beautiful thing to create a healthy ecosystem is very important. And healing together is an invitation, I guess.
Yes.
Invitation to everybody here, and let's go embrace the connection as well. My second question is going to be to Adonis. What is the impact of the storytelling in your work, in an individual and a community level?
Sorry, I didn't catch the last part.
Okay. It's the impact of the storytelling in an individual and community level.
Yes, thank you for that question. The impact. Essentially, the impact of our work, and again, we've been doing this for 30 years. In the last 3 years, we have built the capacity to actually have, before it was all youth-based journalism and youth-based documentaries. And in the last 3 years, we've been able to engage professional staff who work with residents of the community to film events, to document their own stories, to showcase the work that they're doing. And essentially, I feel that the impact is more people know about what's happening in their community. It's not just about addressing stereotypes and addressing negative media anymore. It's about promoting, showcasing information, showcasing resources in this community, showcasing the leaders that are doing work in the community and their ideas that are happening. And showing where people come together and what they do when they come together. What events are going on, like today, being able to film this event today and being able to have a place where people throughout the community could go on and say, oh, what was going on at that event? And be seen that. I think that brings, again, back to bringing people together. I think that really helps to bring people together and share information about what's going on. And for us, I know that one of the things we want to do is we realize through this process that it's not just the Regent Park community that's going through, but many of the communities have the same kind of issues and dealing with the same kind of issues. And that's why we've been trying to work with St. Jamestown and Moss Park in terms of not only doing what Regent Park is doing, but how can we engage residents in this area to become community journalists. So that I will throw that challenge up later, but we are looking for residents of St. Jamestown who want to be community journalists and who want to learn how to produce and edit videos and work with us to do a real St. Jamestown TV. So that's a challenge that we're putting up there. But yeah, I think it makes a lot of impact on the community. For us, it really brings the community closer.
I'm just gonna ask you an example of a story that is for storytelling.
Okay, one storytelling is, and I encourage you all to look at it, that I love, is called Detective Jones and the Case of the Missing Buildings. So Regent Park is going through a revitalization. And over the course of the last 15 years, buildings have come down and being replaced. So we asked a group of young people, so what are questions you have about this whole redevelopment process that's going on? So we talked about that, we engaged them in the question, and then we said, you know, if you were to do a video about what's going on, the redevelopment of Regent Park, the redevelopment, well, how would you do it? And how would you make it entertaining and information to your peers? And that's how this detective story comes along. Detective Jones and his the police chief, I don't know if you can show it, but anyways, they go around trying to find out where they identify that one day a building is gone. And they try to identify why that building is gone, where it's gone from, and they start interviewing people about that. After trying to do forensic on the missing building in terms of gathering evidence. But they eventually go to the developers as well as to the mayor, and they ask those questions. And one of the questions, just one of the things that I love about this video, is they ask the developers how much money, how much profit are they making out of developing Regent Park? And the developer wouldn't answer that question. So in the movie, Detective Jones closes the door, and you hear him beating up the developer to get the information. And the sense is that it's really incredible hard to get information out of developers about how much they're actually making on the whole development of Regent Park. So that was a lyric. So that's one example. There are many examples. I encourage you to take a look at what we do.
Definitely, you encourage me to look at it. And it's such a beautiful when you just see the impact of storytelling and to also address what is the issues when we're talking about this. Okay, Stephen, I want to ask you here. So, what is the impact of storytelling? You know, community work is different. When you're just doing many activities, programs, and things like that. So, how that can impact you in your work, and how it can impact the individuals as well around you.
Thank you, Ala. So storytelling can look like many different things, but ultimately it's the telling of our story. That's one of the stories for today. So it's the telling of our story. And so I believe that we overcome by the power of our testimony. And not only does that set us free, but it can set those who are listening free as well. And so with our workshops, we dedicate allocated time for women to share their stories. And so we call it our Women's Circle. So at the end of our workshop, we'll have a circle, and in this circle, we'll discuss and we'll provide a space for women to share their experiences and their stories. And I've been so blessed honestly, to firsthand witness women who came into that workshop who didn't know each other, ended that night crying with one another and embracing one another and hugging one another. And so being vulnerable and sharing your story is actually very powerful. And that was the foundation of the bonds and the relationships that we've been able to see the women create through sharing their story. And that's why it's so important. So that's affected our community because it's helped us grow. And that's affected me individually because I've been able to absorb so much wisdom from other people's experiences, as well as share some of my own wisdom through my stories as well.
Beautiful. And I share with you sentiments since you're working on communities. That's always happening when you're working with a group of people. Thank you very much, Peter. Dr. Juan? Thank you. So at the end of our talk today, I'm going to be giving a gift away, and it's going to be this book. And you asked about storytelling, and one of the things that most people don't know about therapy is that you're going to move through 3 phases if you're going to actually do healing work. So a lot of us go to therapy, but we don't actually heal. And that's because we're not following a 3-step process. So most of us, we don't know that we're doing this, and even the therapists who are doing this work, they don't know that they're working together. But the first phase of any healing journey is truth-telling. So it means I am going to have to revisit my history, and I'm going to have to talk about the experiences that I've had. But in addition to that, I'm going to see certain things that now need healing. In fact, I'm going to see the things that have overwhelmed me to the point where my system can't tolerate it. Now, you can go to therapy and you can talk, and that's an important phase of the journey. But you must move to the next phase, and that is what we call conscious forgiveness. So you must be able to release the pent-up emotions, and forgiveness simply means letting go. So there's a lot of attachments that we have to our stories, but true healing is going to transform that story so that the narrative now looks different. Once you've moved through that process, there are lessons that you will capture from your conscious forgiveness experience. The third phase of the journey is what we call reconciliation. Now, most people make that a religious thing, but I'm going to make it a personal development thing. Most of us, when we experience a trauma, we do this first thing, we disconnect. We disconnect from the person who has harmed us, but then we also disconnect from ourselves. So the disconnection is what we target. Reconciliation is about coming back to self. And with the discovery of who self truly is, now you can line up and just live the life that you're supposed to live. So, having said all of that, how does the storytelling actually impact? Typically, when we move our clients through this process, within 3 sessions, depression disappears. Within 7 sessions, anxiety and other habit-forming kind of responses to trauma, those disappear. And the person goes through a healing process where the pain isn't there anymore, but then after that, they go through a process of self-discovery, self-development. They strengthen themselves, and they begin to engage with others in a whole different way. So this book that I'm going to be offering to somebody today is going to account for all of the parts of you. You are body, you are mind, you are soul, you are spirit, but all of that, when you reconcile it, is one. And so what you'll notice in this book is I use a Christian perspective, but I have now evolved this so that we can then work with it no matter what faith you are. So it's not so much about the faith or the religion, but it is about, are you willing to discover who you are? So the narrative or the storytelling shifts as you do your healing work. By the time you're done your therapeutic work, you should not be remembering the same things in the same way. They should not be as painful as they once were. You truly will be able to appreciate the experiences that you've had, and
and the ways in which they strengthen me. So that's my story.
Say that most of us here have a resource in terms of community media. So the question I ask is, how can we use media to empower our communities? Wow, guess what? We all have phones. Almost all of us have phones. We all have the capacity to have a TV station in our phones, really. So by going to meetings and being able to broadcast those meetings and being able to have a platform where we could show what you filmed to other members of the community. So people who can't be here tonight could see what's going on. Being able to find out, interview people in your neighbors in your community who are doing interesting work or who are making change, just like this Fred's documentary that he just showed today. Anybody could do that with a phone. And that's what we're trying to encourage, that we all have this resource. And yes, if you want to learn more professional techniques around that, we're happy to help you with that. And to have that platform where you can distribute your work. So that's one of the resources that almost all of us, a lot of us have. I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of us have. And it's something that I think should be encouraged, and media is changing these days in terms of citizen media, and I think that we should make use of that to empower what we're doing, to empower our communities, to learn about the resources that have been presented tonight, as well as the resources all around the world. So that's my answer to that.
Thank you very much. That is very empowering. When you know that everybody has this resource and you can even learn even more in Regent rptv. I'm going to go with the question to you, Kaynn.
I just want to make sure the question, I have it down. So your question is, what are key resources needed to have an empowered community? Okay. So first I want to answer that question by just stating what I think an empowered community looks like. And to touch on what Adonis said, I think an empowered community looks like a community that has social connections. I think it looks like a community that knows its assets and its strengths. An empowered community knows what is available, because it's like we have a gift and we don't know it's there. And so it's really important that we know what we have and our strengths as a community. And so I believe that the resources that are necessary for us to reach the point of empowerment as a community is a couple of things. One of the things that come to mind is partnership within our community. I think that is very important in terms of having awareness of what is available. Yes, it's amazing to have external partnerships, but there's so many different little things that we're doing within this community, St. Jamestown, but we need to come together as one, because then we're bringing all different types of demographics together, and then we're able to share what is available much more way easier. And so that's one thing. And then second, I'm biased. So I think a resource we need are spaces dedicated for women in this community. I don't think there is enough. I think it's the same as when I grew up, and I think that's a problem, especially for single mothers as well. And so I was reading this article, and about 26% of Toronto Community Housing members are single parents, which majority are women. But how are women supposed to access anything for themselves when they have so many other responsibilities, including their children? Like, it's literally impossible. And so resources that are helping women, but also helping them by having support for their children, for them to attend these things. And so I think with those resources, those are some of the small things that can lead us to being a more empowered community as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I just ask, how many people feel feel like they have part of the answer to this thing we call community and healthy communities. How many people think they have part of the answer? Like if I came to you and I said, so you've had a whole bunch of experience in your life, and all of that has taught you something. And from that experience that you've had, that lesson that you learned, or the many lessons that you learned, do you feel like you have part of the answer? How many people? Come on, there's got to be more. Okay, we're getting there, right? See, that's where we need the power, right? If you don't know that you're part of the answer to the question we're all asking, you're not playing your part. So the way that we're going to empower one another or empower our community is for every single person to understand, first of all, your life experience has mattered, and you are here in this place right now because you have something in you, an answer that will then, if we bring everybody together, will support us in moving our communities forward. This is the power we have, but we're underutilizing, and because we remain so separated, it just keeps us trapped in the same place that we are right now. So I think if we can move through an activity that then actually helps every member of a community identify the answer that they bring, and then put it all together, we will have exactly the thing that we need to move forward. I have a lot of optimism.
That's really what we need. That's really what we need. I'm just very sad, to be honest, because we're at the last question. Because I'm enjoying so much and learning, and myself, I need just to say I'm feeling empowered by this conversation. So here, what a key message or call would you like to leave with the community today?
One key message I would say is get engaged. Get engaged. There are wonderful, we heard of some resources here. There are many resources around the table. There's great opportunities in the communities that we have to get engaged and be involved with what your interests are and what your needs are. So again, I would stress in terms of the work I do is that there's lots of opportunities here to report on all those groups and resources that we have. But really, without bodies doing that, without using your phones to do that and interview people, that doesn't get heard. So, because Fred can't do everything. As much as he's great, he can't do anything. He needs help. We need help. But by helping us, you help each other. So that's the key message I would bring to you, that if you have an interest in doing that, please get in touch with us. We'd love to have you as a community journalist. And you know what? You can just continue to going where you're going. You can continue to go to the meetings you're going to. You can continue being involved in the groups you're doing. All we're asking you is bring your phone and report about it. Do interviews while you're there. Talk about what you're doing so that others can hear the great work that's happening and hear and see the people who are making change in the community. So all of us have the opportunity to be a change maker, and that's the message I would leave.
One last thing I would say is I just want to share a little story. And so with coming to fruition, the reason why our organization even came to fruition, if I will, in the first place is, the first thing is God. He is the main thing. That's the reason why we started. But secondly is, one day I was walking past Allen Gardens in the summertime, and there was a huge influx of the homeless population, and there were just tents everywhere. And I remember as I was walking past this park, I had a thought. And the thought said that I should do something about this. And so all I did was I called up everyone on my contact list, like 15 people I haven't talked to in years, and I said, hey, can you come to this park next week and maybe like bring something to eat? Like, even if you can't bring something to eat, maybe bring like a drink, napkins, plates. And so I called up all my friends, and the next week, about 15 people came, one bringing water bottles, one bringing food, one bringing this, and through that initiative, we ended up feeding 100 people that day. And I never thought it would be so big just from that one thought that I had. And so the reason I'm sharing this story is because we think that an empowered community means like you have to have this huge leadership, it just takes one person and other people coming together and you could make a huge difference. And so everyone in this room has the power to make positive change for their community. It just takes a small thing, and you don't need to be a superhero to do so. You just need to be a regular human being, and you have that within you. So yeah, that's my answer to your question.
Thank you very much. Dr. Juma?
So it's been great to be with you. When George Floyd died, I remember going back and I remember watching the video. And I watched it a few times, and there was something that I had to sit with for probably a few days before I could forgive it. But I realized that I needed to forgive it because it was eating up so much of my energy, like I couldn't actually work. But I had the tool to do it. But I had to think about, why did that death, why did it hit me in the way that it hit me? It wasn't like I hadn't seen death before. It wasn't like I didn't know that there's racism. It wasn't like I didn't know that there was hatred. But there was something about it that, like it just hits you in the soul. It's not even the gut. It's not a physical thing. It's not the mind. It's not a mental thing. But there's a soulish thing about taking breath and life from someone and doing it in such a public way. So after my few days of mourning and my few days of just really dissecting what that experience was about, I wrote this poem. And I want to just end by reading the poem if I could. It's called Peacemaker. You've been called fighter and survivor, but has anyone called you peacemaker? The people born to bring peace to our world are the ones who have endured the wars and the after effects of violence and cultural genocide. Hidden in the marrow of their bones, the nucleus of every cell and the dark spaces between are the screams of the enslaved, tortured, raped, and murdered. They have endured racism, colorism, sexism, classism, microaggression, and social exclusion, and with every breath they scream, "Enough! We desire peace." They don't notice the snake as the evil migrates from the pale to the dark skin. Even as they cry, they mirror the ones who continue to torture them. A mother beats her child. A sister envies her brother. A child murdered in the womb. A nation suffers violence as at its own hand, even as the men and women sing, "My help comes from God, the maker of heaven and earth." "Forgiveness is the key," yells a mad brother on the street corner. "I will never let go," says the sister riddled with the cancer of hate. I build an altar, and I don't kneel. I stand. I raise my fist to the God of the universe. "What do you want from me?" Silence, only silence. My heart breaks as the hate leaves, and I weep. "What do you want from me?" Silence. I sit in the silence. I'm tired. I say as I fall to my knees, what do you want from me? God speaks, change the world, bring peace. But how, I plead, if peace was possible, we would have it by now. Forget it all and mirror me. His voice is a whisper in the wind. Forgive, remember the evil, and choose to live. What's so special about you, so-called black man and woman? You don't know it, but you are the most peaceful nation on the planet. You have a gift buried in you. It's called peacemaking. After we forgive the atrocities and the pain of the past, we build a village and we return to ourselves. And from the center of that village, we make a declaration. I forgive you, but this will never happen again. Peace does not come from rage and more war. It does not come from forgetting ourselves. It comes from forgiveness and the full awareness of God's master plan. We had to experience war so you and I could bring peace. How else would we do it? It had to be our choice. So let me go first. You follow.
Thank you very much for these powerful words. I just want to say thank you for our amazing panelists and amazing discussion. Thank you, Adonis, for your lead on media and changing and doing amazing work around that and leading for so many years. Thank you, even for your community work. And just to say, I just have to take this as one second, just to tell you. Start with the thought, everyone can be a community changer. So that's amazing. And Dr. Duan, for amazing work that you're doing, transforming the community through healing. Thank you so much.
It is not over yet. We have another performance. So we would now like to introduce Miss Perry and Andrea Davis, who has been a part of the SJT community for many years. She recently wrote the SJT Festival theme song and performed it with a group of SJT youth. We are honored to welcome Ms. Perry and Andrea Davis tonight.
If you disrespect everybody that you run into, well, how in the world do you think anybody's gonna respect you? Well, if you don't give a heck about the man with the bottle in his hand, yeah, just get out the way and let the gentleman do his thing. Yeah. And you're the kind of gentleman that likes everything your way. Yeah. I take the shit off your face, boy. It's a brand new day. Hey, yeah, respect yourself. Nah, 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 respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody gonna give a good nah, 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 you gotta respect yourself. Nah, 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 respect yourself. Well, you walk around thinking that the world owes you something because you're here. No. You're going off the world backwards like you did when you first got here. Yeah. Keep talking about the president, won't stop air pollution. Put your hand on your mouth when you cough, that'll help the solution. Don't stop fighting, come on. You talk about women that you don't even know their name. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. One more time. Yeah. Respect yourself. Thank you. Stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tempt me. Heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitters is gold, and half the story has never been told. And now we see the light. We're gonna stand up for your rights. Hey, hey, get up, stand up. Feel like singing? Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Yeah, we're sick and tired of the ism, schism, can't die, go to heaven in Jesus' name, y'all. We know and we understand. Almighty God is a living man. You can't fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And now you see the light. We're gonna stand up for our rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Let's see how many we can get. Don't give up the fight. I said for she knows this song. I said for stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Come on, I can hear you. Stand up for your rights. 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 Yeah. Black History Month is officially closed.
And thank you, everyone. I just want to call all the volunteer organizers to come to the front to have a photo.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us on all our social media platforms. Please visit our website for more information.